Okay, welcome. So guys, this is part 3 of our reboot. Uh-oh.
Hold on.
We
Let
got
me mute
a
me.
doggy. Let me see if I can make myself the main person here. All these.
Hold on. I'm trying to get this muted here.
Okay, take your time. Oh, I can mute you. I just did it. You're muted. All right, hang on. There you go. All right, Mo's in. Everybody's in. Okay, now let me see if I can make myself. Oh, there it is. Okay. New speaker. Okay, am I the main screen? Because somehow I've been videoing all of us, and I know that probably drives people nuts. All right, here we go. So welcome. So this is part 3 of our 4-part boot camp reboot. And I know we've been kind of all over the place because I'm literally just going down my notes with my brain dump of everything that I want you guys to know and the method to my madness. And so today we're going to talk a lot about well, different things, of course. So first thing is when you are when you're new, if you haven't really mastered your Mary Kay website and you're wondering how it all works and your ProPay and things like that, I want you to go in and register yourself as a customer and do a fake order. Okay, don't pay with the credit card. Just there's a little box that says contact me for payment. But I want you to watch what happens. I want you to watch that you, the consultant, automatically sends you, the customer, an email. The company does all this, and then you, the consultant, you're going to get an email that says, "Hey, you have a website order." And so I want you to see how all that works, so that you know what your customers get, you know what you get, and then you also know where to check your main screen on InTouch under action items, and you can also look to see if you have orders, website orders there, so that you don't ever miss a website order. Okay, you want to check that frequently in case your email for whatever reason sends it to spam. So it's under action items, and action items is your friend, because that is also where you go to check for prizes that you've won, like star prizes and things like that. So do that fake order. When you're doing customer delivery service and ProPay, when you go to checkout, if your ProPay doesn't, when you go to checkout, like your Mary Kay orders, just doing a regular inventory order, if your balance doesn't show up from your ProPay card and it says, hey Mo, you have X amount of dollars on your ProPay, do you want to apply it to this order? If your card doesn't do that, then you haven't completely set up your ProPay account to where you can maximize all these great features that it has, like reminding you that you have a balance when you go to checkout from your inventory order. So make sure that your card is doing that. If you don't have the ProPay and you don't have the website, you can't do customer delivery service. If you have a website, the Mary Kay website, and you don't have ProPay, you can't do customer delivery service. I love customer delivery service. Like right now, Mary Kay is doing that for $3.95 for your out-of-town orders. And I've taught you guys this before. I always look at my order, like if I get a web order or even just an order from, a lot of times my customers will text me. And if they're out of town, I'm going to look and say, okay, how much is this order? I have the bubble mailers here. You guys know I ordered the bubble mailers from Amazon, the big pink ones, polka dot ones. I have all different sizes, okay? I'm always going to look and say, how much is it going to cost me to pull this product off my shelf and mail it? Or is it going to be cheaper for me to do customer delivery service for $3.95 right now? When COVID is over, I'm sure it will go back to $6.95. I'm going to do the same thing. Now, if it's one mascara, I'm going to put it in my little bubble mailer. I'm going to mail it because I am not going to spend $3.95 to send it. And so that's why it's important for you to always weigh the cost. All right. That's why when you set up your website, if you haven't sat down with me to go over your your Boss Babes new consultant checklist, I specifically talk about the 2 things that you always need to check no on. Check no on Easy Ship and check no on customer checkout. Customer checkout is different than customer delivery service. So no, no, and then yes for customer delivery service. All right, so play around with that website so you know what your customers see. And then, that way you become more familiar, and always make sure that you're checking that action items to make sure you have not missed any website orders. Fake or scammers. If you're not a star, Mary Kay will never send you a customer on your website. So and a real customer is always going to order from your website and you're going to have an order. A fake scammer is going to email you and let you know she wants to order. No, just order. And then a fake person is always going to tell you why she wants to order. We don't need to know why you want to order Mary Kay. People order Mary Kay because they love Mary Kay. They don't got to list things. My daughter's sick. My daughter's blind. My daughter's getting married. I mean, that's a scam. They use crazy words like kindly. Those are scammers. Plus, it's a scam if you don't know them from Adam and they're just a stranger who found your website. That was not from Mary Kay, because if you're not a star. If you are a star, Mary Kay will send you legitimate customers, okay, through your website. And legitimate people usually order, okay? Now, I was going to say something else about being a star. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. So, business cards. You can get your business cards. I do not put my address on my business cards because I like to work my business, everywhere, 10 geographic areas. I learned this early on, that if I was at a booth, say, in Calhoun or Warner Robins, and I handed out my business card, they would look and say, oh, Sharpsburg, I'll just find somebody local. Learn that the hard way. And so even when I'm doing the booth and they say, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from around here. Everybody's from, I don't give them specifics because I don't want them to think it's hard to order from me. It's not hard to order from me. I'm willing to service you to the moon and back. And so take your address off your business cards when you are working. Hang on just a second. When you are working in, your 10 geographic areas that you're focusing on building in, and when you are at those booths and people say, oh, are you from around here? Yes, I am. I am, whatever it takes. All right, so right now I want to talk about your workstation when you are going into that class, because there are times that I won't be with you. And so I want you to focus on your workstation and your closing station. So with my workstation, you guys know I line up, if you've watched me do a party, I line up my laminated cards in the order of the skincare that I'm going to be, like, here's Tammy's. If I'm doing a volume for Tammy's mom, I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to do my charcoal mask. I'm going to line them up in order. And you guys know, this is all at my workstation. Your workstation is at the head of the table that you are doing your party in. Underneath my workstation, my laminated cards, is going to be my referral sheets, okay? Because that's going to come next. And then underneath that is going to be my green cards. And then underneath the green cards is my closing sheet. Why am I so specific about this? Because I've done enough parties to where I would forget to play the referral game. And I had literally years and years of me getting back home and just beating myself up because I was so wrapped up in the product and selling the product that I literally would skip over that. And so that is why I'm teaching you not to waste years and years and years of lost referrals, because that is how your business continues to grow. I always had to work more vendor booths, finding more new leads, because I was bad at getting the referrals, okay? And so that's why I've literally got my systems to where I tell you, you put this in order, you put your referral sheet, because as you clean up as you go, you guys watch me, I put away my things. So the next thing after I do the skincare, And the supplements is going to be play the referral game. I can't get to my closing sheet until I've played the referral game. And then I play that, get that out of the way. The next thing is the second appointment laminated cards, okay? Advertising that second appointment. And then I play that. And then I have my green cards. And then after my green cards is finally my closing sheet. My laminated visual aid play a huge role in working this business full circle. And so if you have not grasped that, or just really got that to where that's part of who you are too, you are missing out on sales, referrals, and bookings. We have 3 ladies in our unit right now on target for the National Court of Sales. And that all comes from, they are such good students of the way I do my skincare parties, okay? It's all skincare parties. All of that is sold, product, booked, referrals, all that. And so master this. This is why I'm teaching this, okay? Master that. It's the systems. Now that's your workstation. And I work from, you guys know, I go in, when you go into that party, you are selling yourself. You're selling the dream. You cannot look like the bag lady. And so you guys know I'm going to have to pick up my bag. So my handle broke off my bag today. I go in with one bag. You guys know this is my black bag right here. One bag has everything in here. Okay, we're going to talk about what's in this bag. Mo was just asking me this the other day. And so you guys know from my workstation, and we're going to get to the closing station in just a second. I have my roll-up bag that only has my glamour stuff. This is like the glamour for the second appointment. Everything I need to do a second appointment. It's going to have my powders. It's going to have my CC creams. It's got my brow tint. It's got eyeliners, lip liners, mascaras. It's got primers. It's got oil mattifier, under eye corrector, and concealers. That is everything you need for your second appointment, okay? And I love the little liquid eyeshadows. I have every color of those. You can do quick dash out the door looks. Behind me, you guys know I carry my palette. I carry my glamour palette, my eyeshadow palette, that's every color eyeshadow, and my cheek palette. Everything else stays packed in that bag except for those 2 things, and my lip glosses and lipsticks that are featured over here, okay? And so when I go to do an appointment, if it's not glamour, I don't move those off, okay? But if it is glamour, I know that the only thing I have to add to this bag is to run in, and I always use my little mesh bags, the ones that my mirrors came in, and I throw my lip glosses in there, and then I put everything else in my go bag. Okay, I'm gonna put that over there. My skincare bag. If you're not showing the Miracle Set skincare or hang on for a second. You guys know we always show the Miracle Set or the Voluform set, but you have to show supplements. You show all of these supplements. I know some people have issues with showing a lot of product, but you don't know who is coming to that table, because supplements, every supplement is, everybody doesn't need every supplement. And so you have to show them what the supplements do. And so you guys know the supplements that I show is facial peel, charcoal mask, hydro patches, serum C, and microdermabrasion on that second appointment, toning lotion. I always show that. I don't waver from it. And then that's why our sales are so high. At that second appointment, we play that tic-tac-toe game, and we show the wrinkle filler, microdermabrasion, and then we go from there with the primer and all the glamour. But inside my bag, I always carry Viva paper towels. I'm just going to be honest, I keep forgetting to order the great little things, and I would always get to parties and nobody would have paper towels, or they would have, really, really cheap paper towels, which is what, I would have upstairs. But the Viva is super thick. It's just like those wonderful cloths that you have in your that come in your starter kit. Now, you may not be as forgetful as I am. And so if you remember, that's great. But I just go and buy a ton of Viva, and I have them everywhere so that I can, and it stays in my bag. I also keep a roll of raffle tickets, because during the masking, we always play the Q&A, the question and answer game, for the opportunity. That is what we consider heavy marketing. If you're not recruiting at the table, here's why I started doing heavy marketing during the masking. I'm just going to tell you, over the years, I used to do it in the beginning, and then I would just tell my story. But during the uprising of the millennial generation, I realized that my story didn't interest them. And so I had to shrink it down, do a Cracker Jack story, and let them ask me questions. I would say a few key things that would interest them, and I would let them ask questions about my business. And the questions that they ask help me to learn how to understand that millennial generation. Marianne and Trinity can tell you, and Tammy, I struggled about 4 years ago with connecting with the millennials. Even though I have, young adult sons, I struggled with connecting with them. And that was the one thing that I changed, that I think was changing my story to the beginning to the masking, because you've got your hydro patches sitting on there for 20 minutes. You've got their charcoal mask sitting on there. You've got your facial peel on their neck. This is where you can tell your story, and you can let them ask questions. And then they're going to ask the questions that they need to know to make an educated yes or no decision. And that's all you ask. And then you're going to be able to kind of understand what their hot buttons are. And so the tickets. So let me tell you some pros and cons. When you go buy these tickets, get the double roll so that they get one, you get one, and then you draw. But if you ever make a mistake like I did, and you just get the single roll, then you have to tear it in the middle, because one end has got the number, the other end has the number, and she gets half and you get half, and then you can draw. So little things like that, little mistakes that I've made over the years, just little things that, I'm saving you some money, because I would get home and go, why didn't I notice that? I would get so mad at myself. So have a roll of tickets and keep them in your go bag. I can't tell you enough to always have this packed and ready, and even in your car, so that you never have to get there and say, I don't want to ask you why your sales were low, and you tell me you only showed one thing, or a miracle set, because everything was at home. Well, have it all packed. I'm telling you from my own mistakes. I literally got one time to a facial. My director had come into town for the first time from Texas. My recruiter had come over, and they were helping me, and they reorganized me. Oh my God, don't ever do that. They reorganized me to an extent where I get to a party and I had nothing. I'm literally, thank God I'm a messy person. I was digging samples that had fallen out of my trunk, and I put together, from just loose samples that had fallen out, I put together a look, and I had a full-size cheek, and I pulled out from my inventory a full-size miracle set. I sold her over $200 from just scraps that I had laying in my messy car, because I was unorganized. I was a hot mess. And I drove off and left everything at home. Let me just say, that was not the first time that I did that. So I am who I am because of the mistakes that I have made. And I teach the way I teach because of the mistakes that I have made. And I try to save you guys a lot of time. So back to my bag. I love to get these folders at Office Depot. They snap, and they hold things like my referral sheets in there. They hold recruiting packets, materials, things like that. I also use the mesh bags for our alcohol wipes when you are showing eyeliner and lip liners and things like that during your glamour appointments. You want to clean that immediately. You don't want to clean that when you get back home and make a mistake and not clean something. And so I get the alcohol wipes. They're in the diabetic section in Rite Aid or Walgreens, or is Rite Aid even around anymore? Walgreens, CVS, and I keep a ton of them in there. So I use those little bags that your mirrors come in for all kinds of things like that. You always want to have a bag full of cotton balls, cotton pads for eye makeup remover. You also want to have you've got to have your brush cleaner in your bag, because when you have demo brushes like your foundation brush and your powder brush, and you only have 2 and you've got 5 people there, you want to clean it and you want to wipe it out, and it dries instantly. It sanitizes. So this is like, I love this. You got to have that in there. If I didn't have that, I would just feel so you just would only be able to let 1 or 2 people, unless you had 4 or 5 demo brushes, and that's an ideal situation. Okay. You also want to have a bag full of pens. Okay. And you also want to be able to have all your profile cards and your sales tickets in there. So we've talked about my workstation. When you're going to a party, I roll my products in from my insulated product carrier that keeps, I have my 3, I have my big one that holds all the skincare and supplements and things like that, and all my foundations that come in the little drawers. I love that it's insulated. You can keep it in your car, winter and summer, cold and heat is fine. Then it has if you've seen it on Mary Kay MK Connections, it has your another one that it's like a sleeve that fits over. It holds your eyeshadow, eyeliner, cheeks, all that. And then you have another one that holds all your lipsticks. So when I have a big party, so that I'm not running back and forth to the car, I roll it into their dining room area, or let's say it's usually their living room, because usually we're in the dining room, we're doing a party. And then that would be called my closing station. So my closing station, hang on. My closing station is going to have my products that I'm going to sell, my bags that I keep in that little sleeve. So I always have product bags to put their products in. And then this is you've heard me talk about this. It's old, but it keeps the jack for my phone. It keeps my sales tickets. And if I needed extra profile cards, okay? The profile cards are the ones that your customers fill out. You guys know I X out that whole right side. So because here's my reason for this. Let me show you. Hang on. So I X all of this out except for their name, address, phone number, email, birthday. Okay. Because when they sit down and I get my party started, time is money. And my pet peeve over the last 20 years is having all these women filling this out while I'm talking. And I start off with good stuff, like pay attention. So I just said, the heck with it. You're not going to fill this out. I put a big X, and they start to fill that out. I'm like, you got plenty of time to fill that out later. Let's all pay attention. We're going to get started. I know I sound like a crabby old woman, but that irritates me. So I just started Xing that out, because you want them to pay attention. So that's your profile cards. I keep extras in my closing bags. I also keep in here the gift certificates that I use for their second appointment. I keep those in here. And I think Marianne came up with this, and I copied it. It says, welcome new customer. And then, so it has a picture of my family. And on the back, it says, all the benefits of being my customer. And I put that in their bag, and then I give them this when I book their second appointment. Okay. And so all of that is at my closing station, so that I get the booking, I get the sale, and I also have my team building packets ready. All of that is always ready to go in my go bag. And so I'm going to tell you, probably for the first 7 years, I would come home and dump it all out and reorganize it. I'm telling you, I struggle with organization. And so that's why I'm so specific now about, I clean up as I go, so I don't have to reorganize it when I get home. It's still in the same, when I'm running low, I know to fill it back up. And even with my roll bags, like my skincare bag and my glamour bag, I have a checklist that I'm going to send you guys, and it's everything that I have in my bags. And so you're going to love it. So you can go ahead and get it. If you find that you are using some of your stuff and that's why you're leaving stuff at home, just go ahead and bite the bullet and use strictly things for demo as demo and get your own stuff, because that will, I'm going to tell you the one thing that I keep using, and I'm about to go pull it off my shelf. I keep using my own, and then I get upstairs and I'm like, dadgummit, I can't use it. So I made a decision today. I had my old one, but I haven't pulled a second new one to keep in my bag and one to keep upstairs. And so just go ahead and bite the bullet and have whatever you need in your bathroom and whatever you need in your go bag as your demos. Okay, remember, everything that you pull off your shelf for yourself or for your parties is tax deduction. And so here's a great way to keep up with all your products that you pull off. So take another mesh bag, and every time you pull out a product, you tear off the top of the box, and it's flat, and so you end up with a bag full of box tops. So when you go to do your taxes, and we're going to be doing a tax class soon, you just empty all your box tops and you just add them all up, and that's your class demos, tax deduction, personal use, tax deduction. So I have a bag upstairs in my bathroom with all my box tops that I've used for my personal use deductions, and I have a bag in my office with all my box tops that I've used for my demos in this bag. And that's the easiest way that I've ever found to keep up with your personal use and your demos for tax deductions. Okay, now, okay, we got a few more minutes. So let me, so working from your closing station and your workstation, you kind of got that. I'm going to send you a checklist so you'll know what to go in your glamour bag. So you're going to want 2 bags. Go ahead and bite the bullet, get 2 bags, keep everything separate. I promise you, you're going to thank me one day. So let's see, closing station, using the products head to toe. Okay. I can always tell if someone is not using Mary Kay head to toe. I used to buy lunch. If they say I'm not, first of all, they always say, I don't sell skincare. That's what they say. That's my first red flag. And I'll always say, okay, let's have lunch. And then I look at their skin, and then I call them out on it. Like, okay, well, I can already tell you right now, I know why you're not selling skincare. And they tell me, and I say, it's because, and they'll say, how do you know? I'm like, well, you're not using the product, are you? You don't consistently wash your face at night. How do you know? Well, I can look. Over 20 years, I can watch a woman's transformation of her skin. And I can sit here and tell you when a new person is not using the product. And I'm going to tell you too, because you know I'm a I like to psychoanalyze everything. The women who have the hardest time getting into a regiment are the women who shower in the morning versus showering at night. Because it's just to stand there and take everything off at the sink requires a little bit more effort than someone who showers at night. And I'm a nighttime shower, and that's okay. But I had a hard time washing my face in the morning. And, you know, that's a whole nother issue, but it doesn't, because your skin repairs itself at night, you don't see that, you know, that issue as radical as you see someone who doesn't take their makeup off and sleeps in it all night. And so if you are a nighttime bathe, there's no right way or wrong way, by the way. Some people like to bathe at night, some people like to bathe in the morning. But you have to take your makeup off at night. When you start seeing that transformation and you start using the products, your love and enthusiasm will sell the product. And the way your transformation, a lot of times your friends and family are not going to be excited about you opening your Mary Kay business and selling. They're just going to say, yeah, whatever. Unfortunately, the people who love us the most support us the least. That's just the honest to God truth. But they will eventually come around, I promise, when they see your transformation. Sometimes they have to see it to believe it, okay? And so it's up to you to win them over. So, and then you can be like me and say, I don't care about your skin. I'll wait and facial you 17 years later after I look good and you don't. That's my middle sister, by the way. 17 years it took me to facial her, 14 for my baby sister and 14 for my mom. So you don't have support, I'm right there with you. All right. All right, so using the product head to toe. One of the best things that I ever did was to get myself used to the new products was I would pull out a product and try it slowly, okay? Because I wasn't one to just try everything all at once because I was kind of frugal. It's like crazy frugal. I still am. And I would try products and I would feature it for my customers. And I would say, November, featured products that I'm testing. This is what I love. This is what it's doing. This is what it's cost. Featured product of the month is 15% off. And that's how I started getting my customers head to toe. And they knew my product knowledge just really expanded because I was trying the products. Now, I am not an oily skin person, so I could not try all the oily products because I wasn't going to put that on my skin. But I would always get feedback from my customers who were oily. And I would tell them that, do you mind if you give me some feedback in the next week, 2 weeks and 3 weeks and 4 weeks as your skin gets acclimated to that product so that I can have that in my, in my product knowledge of how it's working and things like that. And so that's how you stay connected too with your customers and the knowledge that you have, and they see your knowledge and they see your passion. All right, now we're going to stop right here, but I want to say one thing because I don't want to go over too late, and part 4 will be next week. If you have not read this, this is a must. I've read this 3 or 4 times now. If you want to be successful in Mary Kay, you need to read this. It's a fast read. I was a busy mom. I can't read books that are too deep. I have to have a fast read. This is a fast read. You will not be able to put it down. You need to know her heart, her heartbeat, her why. You need to know everything that there is to know about this company and how amazing this company is. And it's all right here in this book. You will cry, you'll laugh, you'll fall in love with her. And when your blood runs pink, it doesn't matter if they say yes, you're going to find the people that say yes, whether it's your family or friends or complete strangers like I did. It will not matter because you'll be sold out on an amazing company like Mary Kay. Okay. All right. Anybody? Oh, we got a lot of chatting going on here. Let me stop the recording. And remember, pick us back up next week for part 4. Hang on. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. With ProPay, if you can, Marianne, okay, it looks like Marianne was helping me answer questions. Thank you. Is it a good idea to have oil mattifier in the Glamour bag? Yes, Kelly, I do carry that in my Glamour bag. Better get the Viva paper towels while you can, everyone, for some reason. Yes, Erica, everybody's buying Viva. What's the deal with that? Isn't that crazy? And can you give more details on this? On what? This is the first I've heard of this. Details on what? The oil mattifier?
The oil mattifier. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so it was really hot back in the day. So when you're at a party, I'll just say our skincare regimen for combo to oily skin works even better now, so you don't have shiny people. But if you have somebody that's shiny, you have to press it on. Don't rub it on because it messes up the chemistry of it, but you take it and you press it on. You can do under or over your makeup, and instantly it takes away the shine, like instantly. It is like a miracle. It's a little tube of miracles. So yes.
So is it like the beauty blotters almost?
Yes, but in a liquid form.
Oh.
It almost feels like the primer.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So Marianne said, my twin stole my Skin Vigor brush. I got tired of climbing 2 flights of stairs. I know, right, Marianne? Go get your own. Just pull it off your shelf. Is that the only one? I'm going to have to order another one. All right. So that's good. I've been putting every box in the starter kit box. That's going to get full, Mo. Okay, so take the box top out, put them in your little mesh bags. I love those mesh bags. And figure mine out already. Figured mine out already. Okay, yes, good job. All right, any other questions that you guys want to? Looks like we're still recording. I thought I stopped the recording.